This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Earlier this morning, we got a text message and it's like, hey, you up?
Yeah, and we went like, new phone, who dis?
Welcome to the show, our friend Anthony Albanese. Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you're standing up for the anthem there.
Of course,
Always,
Prime Minister. Are you kidding me?
Always for you.
When we don't even understand what a chair is when we speak to you.
And have you sorted out the new studio?
Yeah.
I mean, mostly.
Harry's playing some disco lights every now and then, and it kind of throws us out a bit.
You know what it is, Albo? It's when you get like a bit too much tech. Like, you know, it's okay to have a bit of tech, but when everything relies on tech, it's
like when you've got a new car and it's got all those screens and you're not really sure what each button does. We're in that stage, yeah.
Particularly early in the morning, in flashing lights might cause some issues there.
We start skitching out at the best of times, let alone
right.
that. Albo, what's going on, mate?
Oh, you know, big start to the new financial year. We've had this month tax cuts kick in. We've got the energy bill relief kicking in. We've got increased rental assistance next month now, kick in at the beginning of September. And we've got, I think, some challenges ahead. We know that people are doing it tough, but I think all of those measures will really assist, particularly the tax cuts for every single taxpayer. And at the end of July, I have to remember tomorrow is Jodie's birthday, so that's my priority.
Mate. We've all been there. We've all made a mistake at one stage. Don't do it again.
It's quite good that it's August 1, so it's easy to remember.
Oh, it's Jodie and all the horses.
So with Jodie's birthday, because I've seen many TV shows where the president or the prime minister has an aide that will go and
purchase the gift,
purchase the gift, or bring back some options, and then you choose from them. Is that what we're doing, Albo, or are you going to pop down to Things and buy a lava lamp for Jodie?
I have insisted that I be the person who goes and shops for the birthday present, which is an interesting experience now going into
particularly in the adult shop.
I won't give them a free ad because that might give away where it is too.
Yes.
But let me just say that there'll be no shoplifting anywhere where I'm here because there's a range of security.
Oh my God, that's so funny. All little shoplifters like, oh, don't worry about this one.
Really obviously, and we it ends up taking a substantial period of time because people are surprised to see me in a store.
In a normal store.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Where I'm not normally. It's like I insist on going to get the dog food for Toto by myself as well with the security people, because one of the things I miss about this job is just
being able to do stuff
that you get to do. So for the particular branch, she's pretty spoiled. My dog, funnily enough.
We know, Albo. We know.
You've met her. Yeah. You've met her. You know what she's like. So she only eats one sort of food. So I have to go into a particular supermarket, and they're always quite surprised by me walking through with a box of dog food through the supermarket.
You're a man of the people.
I didn't know Aldi sold caviar. That's of course what Toto eats.
the old Canberra Centre in the ACT. The good thing is if I'm doing it in Canberra, people are pretty chilled about seeing the PM in Canberra. They're just like, hi. No big deal.
But then again, it's sort of like that with Adam Gilchrist there, especially in this area. Gilly's just walking around this area, and like cricket fans, and their minds would explode thinking that they could see. Indians would go, oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah.
Hey, Albo, I've got to ask you though, there's been some changes in your cabinet, which we've probably seen on the news and stuff. We want to ask you about the Olympics though, so I won't get too deep. But I was wondering about the people who you change portfolios with.
When you shuffle them around.
You shuffle them around, right. Do they have to leave their office immediately? This is one of those, like in a footy game, you're off, you're on, bad luck, grab your stuff, you're out.
No, but some of their staff will shift around because there's expertise in particular areas, so they'll go to the new minister. Some staff generalists, so they'll stay with the minister rather than with the portfolio. I must say I had a bit of fun over the weekend because Annika Wells, the sports minister, is there in Paris and has annoyingly been sending me photos of like her with Ariana Titmus' family after she won gold, just to rub in the fact that, you know, she's there and I'm watching on TV. And I did send her back a message saying that I would be appointing myself as Minister for Sport and the Olympics.
It's very Scott Morrison of you. You do it on the sly. You can do anything, yeah.
She should book her flight home, which she didn't take me too seriously, unfortunately.
But to be honest, though, Albo, I'm confused because it is the Olympics. I would think our Prime Minister would be there, so why aren't you there?
I reckon there might be a bit of criticism if I was there. So
there would be.
But there's criticism if you're not there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's criticism regardless. So I'd take the criticism of being in Paris.
With Jodie for a birthday.
Rather than taking the criticism of not being in Paris.
That just goes with the deal no matter what you do. There was recently a meeting, the NATO summit in the US, where the opposition was demanding I go to Washington, D.C., and it was like, hang on, you've been complaining
about you travelling,
too many visits. We're not members of NATO, so you can't win, but you've just got to do your job. So there's a range of forums that I have to be at where we're really important members of, like the Pacific Island Forum, ASEAN in Southeast Asia, the G20, which is the biggest 20 economies in the world.
Taylor Swift concert.
So there will be a bit of travel in the second half of the year, but I've been using the time to get out and about. We've been announcing candidates in Queensland. We've been doing a lot of work on the cost of living measures that kicked in July. and there's always things to do.
Now, Albo, what about watching the Olympics, though? Because it's the middle of the night, and we know you're a busy man, but have you been sitting up and watching the Matildas and stuff? What have you been doing?
Well, the good thing is, of course, I'm usually up pretty early in the morning, and so I can, read the papers online and find out what's going on pretty early while having the Olympics on in the background. So I've got to see a few of the races. And last night I was watching the 1,500 metre heats in the men's and the women's. It's always fantastic. I think I like the long races, whether it's in athletics or swimming, where you get
some strategy and stuff.
Cheer on. 100 metres,
anyone can do that. Is that what you're saying?
Too quick,
And do you we've had 6 winners so far, gold medalists.
Yes.
Do you personally send a message to our 6 gold medalists so far, Albo?
They will all get a message and a little note, and they'll all, of course, I'll welcome them back. So Annika Wells is there in Paris. I get to meet the plane when it comes back.
Yeah,
it's not the same.
That's my interaction there. But both the Olympians and I'm sure the Paralympians as well will do us proud. And it's a great time when you think about how well Australia's going. We're third in the medal tally. We are by far from we're certainly not the third most populous nation in the world. We punch so far above our weight. And it's a great sense of pride, I think, that we have in our country. And we've provided record funding for Olympic sports. One of the things about these young men and women competing in our name is that they earn bugger all compared with the official the official term compared with people in professional sports like tennis or golf or even footy players, and they train so hard, swimming up and down those laps every morning at 6 a.m. for year after year in order to be the champions that they are.
Well, you know what it is, though, Albo.
They deserve a bit of recognition.
Yeah. They do.
You know what it is, and you might have had your people seen this. It's a new term for Australians. It's our flex. We're girt.
Yes.
Yeah, it's caught on around the world. It means, Australia is girt by sea. It means that we are stronger than you because we are girt. And girt is a mindset. We are girt.
That's got a ring to it. I look forward to seeing you guys in T-shirts with that.
She says
mate.
girt.
On it next time.
Nellie's is going to say girty girl. Very girty girl.
Albo, thanks so much for calling in this morning. It's been a little joy to catch up with you.
Yeah.
And happy
birthday. Pleasure, and I hope you've all had, I've heard offline, Amy dobbed you all in for your overseas travel, Bali, Vietnam, full bit. Hope you enjoyed yourselves.
I went to Maylands.
Are you having a crack at our overseas travel arrangements?
I'm just pointing it out. Good on you.
We're moving around.
There's
Well, we've got less options.
For you to schedule your travel over to Canberra again.
Well, we are ready in any time, to be completely honest.
We have to get that done.
Obviously, you didn't invite us to Jodie's birthday party, but whatever.
No, that's okay. We'll hold that against you. Don't worry about that. Can't afford a present anyway. Cost of living.
There's only 2 people invited to that birthday party.
Oh, are you there? Are you going to be there?
Jodie
and one's Toto.
And I'm the other.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, you made the cut. Knowing Jodie, I don't know whether that would have been the case or not.
Give Jodie all our love and
happy
for her
birthday
birthday. Thanks, Albo. It's always
buddy.
a pleasure.
I will do. See you guys.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.